Guys, I believe Rangers will win the league. I don't think they get to respect certain journalists. I'm not saying you guys, but I'm saying certain journalists. I'm sick of it. Everybody shouts Brendan Rodgers is this and this. Let's be honest, guys. And I'm getting a wee bit down. Let's be honest. Brendan Rodgers won the league with Celtic when Rangers were basically on the. They couldn't have won anything. They were struggling.
So, yeah, you're not happy the way Rangers were at that point, Sean?
Last year. Brendan Rodgers is not a great manager. He's an average manager. I'm sorry, guys.
Right, Peter, he won everything last time round. Rangers were part of it, but so were all the other teams as well. Sean, I know what you're saying there, but what would you say to Sean, who's saying that Rangers were nothing like what they are now?
And neither are Celtic, the team that Brendan had, you know what I mean? So let's be perfectly honest with you, you know. So Sean's right. I think Rangers deserve utmost respect for what they've done. Their manager's been phenomenal and he's said all the right things. I've been very impressed the way he goes about his business. He's got the players believing, and it be said, I always used to say when Celtic were in front with the points in front, I'd rather have the points than the games in hand. Rangers have done that. They've taken over now. They've went in front, and you've got to respect that. And I thought you've got to tip your hat to the manager, because he's got the players believing. That's the biggest thing. And if you get your players believing that, it doesn't matter. You can move mountains at times. You know, I've seen better players losing championships because they have not had that belief, or they've not been playing well. You get through when Rangers obviously stopped the 10. You get through that and you think Celtic would have probably, I said, had a better squad then, but couldn't win it because it didn't play well enough. And that's happening this year. We've not played well enough, not been consistent enough. And I think any Celtic fan, Brendan, would say the same. I think the players 100% would say the same. But there is no doubt Rangers deserve the utmost respect. And if they win the championship, they've thoroughly deserved it. They've never mind being 7 points behind, because you all play the same amount of games. That goes and comes and goes. What you've got to do is just keep battling away, and that's exactly what they've done. They've got their noses in front now. Now it'll be interesting, one, how Celtic respond. Can they respond? And can Rangers take the lead and stay in the lead? That's the thing, the question, which nobody knows yet.
Barry, I'm slightly surprised that Sean feels that Rangers are not getting the respect that they deserve, because a lot of people have said,
Paul, it's all about opinions. I mean, I've got to be honest with you, I've been so impressed by him. Not just his mannerisms, the way he's went about and changed the way that Rangers play the game now. The difference in some of the players, and they've done it's been hard getting to the top of the league, but it's even harder now to stay there. But look, I think he's installed a real energy about them, a real belief in the squad. You can see it in the difference of the performances of some of the players. As an example, I look at an area where I play. I think John Lundstrom's he's a different player. He was always a good player, John Lundstrom, in my eyes, but for me, he's been a real driving force. But the difference he's made for that game against Aberdeen, the defeat at Ibrox, I was really, really concerned about the group of players. But you've got to not just give the managers credit, you've also got to give the players credit, because they've managed to turn it around.
Sean, we were just looking at with Peter and Barry beforehand, when Philippe Clement took over, going into his first game, Celtic were on 22 points after 8 games, Rangers on 15. So it's quite a turnaround. So I think there's been a lot of credit. Brendan Rodgers is getting it from both sides. Quite a lot of the Celtic fans having a go, the Rangers fans as well. You know, Paul, a Rangers fan, was on the other night giving him it tight as well.
Do you know what I like, Paul, about the manager as well? I don't know if Grant agrees with me. He's not arrogant about it. He'll still respect the fact that there's a long way to go still. There still is, 12 games to go. There's a lot of football to be played. So he'll know, certainly take his eye off the ball. And that's the way you've got to be. Because if you do, as I says, genuinely, results will go against you.
Well, I think that's the thing we said since he came in the door. The only thing he looks after is what Rangers do from week to week. The Celtic Rangers games always, as I said, look after themselves. So there's no use looking beyond that. So every time you come in, was Philippe the manager at semi-final as well of the Cup? Mm-hmm. So he does that, gets to a final, wins it. So he's putting that belief in the players, and every time you win, it gets more and more belief into your players. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they'll not play as well as, and I can imagine he's still wanting the team to play a hell of a lot better, and I'll have a lot more from it, because he's probably an imbalance within the group and all that. There is absolutely no doubt, but you've got to say, fantastic for him. He's not looked at Celtic. If you put them in isolation, Rangers have done exceptionally well for where they were. Not even for where they were. They've performed at the levels and getting to the levels. Their big players are performing now. The Cantwells and that are showing performances now. And you're looking at Celtic, and Celtic aren't playing at their best. Sure. You know, okay, they've chopped and changed, but that happens to everybody. It happened to Rangers last year. So we can't moan about that. We know that. But that's what I'm saying. It's different now because how many of these guys have been champions? How do they know to handle the pressure of being the so-called underdog now?
At Celtic.
But, of
sure.
course you're a cheat. But Rangers are the opposite. But Rangers are in front.
Sure.
The thing about Rangers, if you look at the games that he's been in charge since he's come in through the door, half of them, I'm sure Sean will agree with me, half of them have been really good, really impressive performances. The other half have been okay, but they've found a way, they've managed to get results, and that's the difference. When you don't play at the top of your game, you find a way to win. And the example was in Sunday. Look, I know St Johnstone are down the bottom half of the table, but that pitch was horrendous. You look at St Johnstone, they've got an experienced manager who knows the game inside out. They've got an experienced back three. They're well set up, and that was a potential banana skin from. But they changed their game plan. They went back to front quite a bit, as I mentioned at the start of the show. And generally, when I've watched Rangers before, it was all about passing and moving. But he identifies. You come to a place where you need to change the way you play, and he done that on Sunday, and he got the rewards for that.